The best animals to raise on 1 acre. Most people choose the wrong ones. Imagine waking up every morning to fresh eggs, rich milk, and healthy meat, all from just 1 acre of land. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the truth that nobody tells you. Most people pick the wrong animals for small farms, and they end up broke, exhausted, and ready to quit. Today, I'm going to show you the absolute best animals you can raise on just 1 acre. Animals that will actually make your life easier, not harder. And trust me, some of these are going to surprise you. But before we dive in, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button right now. Hit subscribe, and make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, because the animal I reveal at number 1, it's a total game changer, and most people have never even considered it. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Easy Grow Garden, where we help you grow food, raise animals, and live more sustainably, no matter how much space you have. Now, whether you're dreaming about starting a small farm or you already have that one precious acre of land, choosing the right animals is absolutely critical. Pick the wrong ones and you'll be drowning in work, burning through money, and wondering why you ever started. But pick the right ones, your life becomes easier, your freezer stays full, and your wallet stays happy. So let's get into it. The big mistake. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the cow in the pasture, because that's exactly what most beginners do wrong. They get 1 acre of land, and the first thing they think is, I'm getting a cow. And look, I get it. Cows are beautiful. They're iconic. When you picture a farm, you picture cows grazing peacefully, right? But here's the brutal truth. One single cow needs about 1.5 to 2 acres of good pasture just to survive. Think about that. You only have 1 acre total, and one cow would eat it down to dirt in a few months. You'd have to buy tons of hay, build expensive fencing, and that cow would basically be living in a mud pit. The same thing happens with horses. People see videos of beautiful horses running free and think that's what I want. But a horse needs even more space than a cow. And both of these animals, they're expensive to feed, expensive to keep healthy, and they take up almost all your land. So what happens? People get frustrated. They feel like they failed. They think small-scale farming is impossible. But it's not the farm that failed, it's the choice of animals. See, the secret that successful small farmers know is this. The best animals for 1 acre aren't the biggest ones. They're the ones that give you the most value for the least amount of space, work, and money. So, let me walk you through the absolute best animals you can raise on 1 acre, starting from good and working our way up to absolutely incredible. Number 5, meat chickens. Coming in at number 5, meat chickens, also called broilers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Chickens? That's boring. But hold on, because meat chickens are secretly one of the most efficient animals you can possibly raise. Let me explain why. Imagine you get 50 baby chicks. They're tiny, fluffy, and super cute. You keep them in a simple shelter, maybe even a movable pen that you can shift around your yard. You feed them for just 6 to 8 weeks. That's less than 2 months. And at the end of those 8 weeks, each chicken weighs about 5 to 6 pounds, ready for your freezer. Do the math. 50 chickens at 5 pounds each equals 250 pounds of organic, fresh chicken meat. That's enough to feed a family for an entire year, and it only takes one small corner of your acre. The best part? These chickens eat kitchen scraps, grass, bugs, and some feed. They're not picky. And unlike cows that you have to care for every single day for years, meat chickens are fast. You raise them, harvest them, and you're done. Then you can start another batch if you want, or take a break. But here's something really important. More and more people are talking about regulations on small farms. Some areas are starting to restrict how many animals you can raise, especially in suburban zones. Right now, in most places, you can raise chickens without problems, but laws change, cities expand. What's allowed today might not be allowed in 5 years. That's why smart homesteaders are starting now, learning the skills now, while they still have the freedom to do it. Number 4, laying hens. If meat chickens give you food fast, laying hens give you food forever. Well, not forever, but for several years at least. Picture this. You have 10 to 15 hens happily scratching around your backyard. Every single day, you walk outside and collect fresh eggs. Not from some factory farm where chickens are crammed in cages, not from a grocery store where eggs sit for weeks, but eggs that were laid that morning. Eggs with bright orange yolks that taste like sunshine. One hen lays about 250 to 300 eggs per year. So if you have just 10 hens, that's around 2,500 to 3,000 eggs annually. Your family will never need to buy eggs again. And if you have extra, your neighbors will buy them from you. Fresh farm eggs sell for $5, $6, sometimes even $8 per dozen. You could actually make money just from your backyard hens. And space? You can comfortably keep 10 to 15 hens on just a tiny fraction of your acre. They don't need much. A small coop to sleep in, some room to roam during the day, and they're happy. But here's where it gets even better. Chickens are like little gardeners. They eat bugs, they fertilize your soil with their droppings, and they turn your weeds and grass into food. They're working for you, not against you. Now, why should you start raising laying hens now? Because in some cities and neighborhoods, there are already strict rules about keeping chickens. Some places say you can only have 3 hens. Some say no roosters. Some say none at all. And as more people move to the suburbs and complain about farm animals, those rules might get tighter. The time to learn, to build your coop, to get your chickens is right now, while you still can. All right, so we've covered chickens, but now we're going to talk about animals that most people completely overlook, and that's a huge mistake. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, go ahead and drop a comment below telling me which animal you'd want to raise. I read every single comment, and I love hearing from you. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Number 3, rabbits. Number 3, rabbits. I know, you're probably thinking, rabbits? Like cute little bunnies? Yes, and they're absolute powerhouses for small farms. Here's why rabbits are incredible. They reproduce fast. One female rabbit, called a doe, can have 5 to 6 litters per year, and each litter, 6 to 8 babies. So one single doe can give you 30 to 40 baby rabbits in just 1 year. Let that sink in. Those baby rabbits grow super fast. In about 3 months, they're ready to harvest, and each rabbit gives you about 3 to 4 pounds of lean, healthy meat. Rabbit meat is one of the healthiest meats on the planet, low in fat, high in protein, and delicious when cooked right. Now let's talk about space. You can raise rabbits in small hutches that stack vertically. That means you could have 10 or even 20 rabbits taking up less space than a single cow would need. You could keep a whole rabbit operation in your garage or a small shed if you wanted to. And food? Rabbits eat grass, hay, weeds, and vegetable scraps. They're cheap to feed, way cheaper than big animals. But here's the thing that makes rabbits even more valuable: manure. Rabbit poop is like black gold for gardeners. It's one of the only animal manures you can put directly on your garden without composting it first. It won't burn your plants. It's perfect. So while your rabbits are giving you meat, they're also supercharging your garden. Now, why raise rabbits now? Because raising rabbits for meat is still relatively unknown in most places. There are fewer regulations, fewer restrictions, but as food prices keep climbing and more people start homesteading, governments might start paying more attention. Get your rabbitry going now, learn the skills, and you'll be ahead of the curve. Number 2, ducks. Number 2, ducks. Wait, ducks, not chickens again. Nope, ducks. And here's why they're actually better than chickens in a lot of ways. First, let's talk about eggs. Duck eggs are bigger than chicken eggs. They're richer, creamier, and bakers absolutely love them. If you've ever tried a cake or cookies made with duck eggs, you know what I'm talking about. They make everything fluffier and more delicious. And guess what? Duck eggs sell for even more than chicken eggs. You can charge $8 to $10, sometimes $12 per dozen. But that's just the beginning. Ducks are also incredible for meat.
A full-grown duck gives you about 5 to 7 pounds of rich, flavorful meat. And if you've never had duck, imagine the most tender, juicy, delicious poultry you've ever tasted. It's amazing. Now here's where ducks really shine. They're tougher than chickens. They handle cold weather better, they're less likely to get sick. And if you have a small pond on your acre, even just a kiddie pool, ducks are in heaven. They'll eat mosquito larvae, snails, slugs, and all kinds of pests that ruin gardens. They're basically free pest control. And space? You can raise 10 to 15 ducks on a quarter of an acre easily. They don't need much.
But wait, there's more. Ducks also give you down feathers. You know those super expensive down pillows and comforters? That's duck down. You can harvest feathers from your ducks and either use them yourself or sell them. So let me recap. Ducks give you valuable eggs, delicious meat, free pest control, and luxury feathers. They're like a 4-in-1 farm animal. Why start now? Because as homesteading grows in popularity, more regulations are popping up about waterfowl. Some neighborhoods already ban ducks because they can be messy or noisy. The window to start might not stay open forever. Learn now, grow now, secure your food freedom now. Okay, we've covered some seriously awesome animals, but now we're getting to the absolute best animal you can raise on 1 acre. And I promise you, this one is going to blow your mind. Number 1, goats. Number 1, goats. Yes, goats. And not just any goats. I'm talking about dairy goats like Nubians, Nigerians, or Alpines. Let me tell you why goats are the ultimate 1-acre animal. First, milk. A single dairy goat can produce about 1 gallon of milk per day, every single day, for up to 10 months out of the year. 1 gallon. Do you know how much milk your family uses? Most families go through 2 to 3 gallons per week. 1 goat can cover that easily. But it's not just milk. With that milk, you can make cheese, yogurt, ice cream, butter, soap. The list goes on and on. Goat cheese alone sells for $15 to $20 per pound at farmers markets. You could literally pay for your goat's feed just by selling a little bit of cheese each week. Now let's talk about meat. Goat meat, called chevron, is the most consumed meat in the world. It's lean, healthy, and tastes incredible. Baby goats, called kids, grow fast. In about 6 months, they're ready for harvest at about 60 to 80 pounds. 2 or 3 goats can fill your freezer with a year's worth of meat. But here's where goats get even better. They're browsers, not grazers. What does that mean? It means they eat bushes, weeds, vines, leaves, all the stuff you don't want on your land. They're like living lawnmowers and weed eaters combined. People actually rent goats to clear overgrown land. You could use them to clean up your property while they're giving you milk and meat at the same time. And space? 2 to 3 goats can live comfortably on 1 acre, especially if you rotate them and give them access to brush and weeds. Here's something else. Goats are smart, friendly, and fun. Kids love goats. They have personalities, they're playful. If you have children, goats make farming feel like an adventure, not a chore. But let's get real for a second. Why should you raise goats now? Because milk freedom is under attack. In some states, you can't even sell raw milk legally. In others, you need expensive licenses and inspections. The government is cracking down on small dairy farms, even tiny backyard operations. Why? Because they want to control the food supply. They want you dependent on big corporations and grocery stores. But if you raise your own goats, nobody can take that away. You can milk your goats, feed your family, and never worry about contaminated store-bought milk again. You're independent. You're free. And that freedom? It's worth everything. Goats also teach you real skills. You learn animal husbandry, milking, cheese making, butchering. These are skills that humans have known for thousands of years. Skills that our grandparents knew, but that most people today have completely lost. When you raise goats, you're reconnecting with something ancient and powerful. Bonus tips. Now, before we wrap up, let me give you a few bonus tips for raising animals on 1 acre. Tip 1. Start small. Don't try to raise everything at once.
Pick one animal, learn it well, and then add more. Maybe start with laying hens, then add rabbits, then add goats. Build slowly. Tip 2, rotate your animals. Move your chickens to different parts of your land. Move your goats to fresh areas. This keeps your soil healthy, prevents disease, and gives your animals fresh food. Tip 3, think about what your family actually needs. Do you need more eggs, more meat, more milk? Let your family's needs guide your choices. Tip 4, learn now. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for more money or more land. Start where you are with what you have, because the skills you learn today could save your family tomorrow. Here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. The world is changing. Food prices are rising. Supply chains are breaking. Governments are passing more and more laws that control what you can grow, what you can raise, and what you can eat. But you have a choice.
You can sit back and hope things get better, or you can take action right now. You can start raising animals on your 1 acre. You can fill your freezer with healthy meat. You can collect fresh eggs every morning. You can milk your goats and make your own cheese. You can become independent. And when your neighbors are panicking at the grocery store, wondering why eggs cost $10 a dozen, you'll just smile, walk to your backyard, and collect eggs from your own hens. When meat prices skyrocket, you'll open your freezer stocked with chicken, rabbit, duck, and goat. When milk is scarce, you'll pour fresh, creamy goat milk for your family. That's freedom. That's security. That's what 1 acre can give you, if you choose the right animals. So here's what I want you to do right now. First, smash that like button if this video helped you. Second, subscribe to Easy Grow Garden so you never miss our tips on growing food and raising animals. Third, drop a comment below and tell me, which animal are you gonna raise first? Are you team chickens, team rabbits, team goats? I want to hear from you. And most importantly, don't just watch this video and forget about it. Take action. Start small. Start today. Your future self will thank you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Now go out there and start your homestead.